we'll kick off episode 1. Every millimeter counts. 25 millimeter is equal to 1 inch. Just so that all of you know, 10 millimeters is 1 centimeter, correct? Each mm. And I think the first question is why accurate measurement is the foundation of performance, and I'll give it to Manish to kick this off, because primarily his company's major job is first to make sure that measurement ठीक हुई है. So Manish, tell me some really bad cases.
Before the bad cases, Amit, I would like to just, go back to what you were stating in terms of installation, and then measurement plays a vital role, and the thought process. So in my opinion, measurement or installation or silicon or hardware, everything, or testing, everything is important, yes. But in my opinion, first thing what I want to convey to the user of any segment is the intent. Because 90% of the cases में हमें क्या पता चलता है कि डोर्स एंड विंडोज का ऑर्डर आ गया है, आपको उसकी मेजरमेंट लेनी है और आपको उसकी इंस्टॉलेशन करनी है. बहुत केसेस में क्या होता है, सिविल लेट चल रहा होता है और डोर्स एंड विंडो की स्टेज आने के लिए और वो जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग टाइमलाइन का गैप और मेजरमेंट के बीच का जो टाइम है, पीपल डोंट वांट टू गिव दैट. On a bare minimum scenario, our organization or majority of the organizations in the country today work on 30 days. So anything between, depending upon what type of product you're buying, it's between 30 days to 60 days. So normally,
Between the time of the measurement, time of supply.
Supply is averagely 30 days, but some product cases it may be 60 days averagely. So having said that, the day zero for that 30 days is when the complete site is ready for measurement.
That is after you've got the order. You've done the negotiation.
Yes, so we have got the order. So the company has got the order, and then they have done the pre-order processing, all the drawings and everything. They have done that. Now that the story is that you measure the site and you start manufacturing. So that manufacturing and that complete process of manufacturing will take 30 days to 60 days depending on the products you have chosen. Having said that, that 30 days, day zero, is when the site has to be 100% ready, and then wait for that 30 days or 60 days for the material to come in. So one subject here which is important is, in majority of the cases, people have consumed the time of 30 days or 60 days factored in the project for the windows manufacturing because of some delays at the site, which is natural. A lot of labors are involved, a lot of bylaws in the government are involved, which makes the process delayed. In normal cases, the contractor will say or the site persons will say, measurement का time नहीं है sir.
लगा दो सीधा.
ना. वो they will say कि sir मैं size दे रहा हूँ, आप इसमें window बना के ले आओ.
I have some points on sizes here. So typically worldwide, if you see, we talk about windows, not facades per se. Windows are largely 70% windows would be standard sized. Okay, so we've not been able to do that here in India for many reasons.
सबको बड़ा चाहिए, मुझे उससे बड़ा चाहिए.
No, that is not the reason. Largely the industry has been not very happy with standard sizes. There's a whole story behind that, but we won't get into that right now. The CPWD has a manual, for example, and it specifies that there are X sizes of doors and windows that only those can be used in all the government buildings.
Yes.
Okay, there's whole manual there, but even CPWD would have forgotten about it. हम लोग तो भूल ही गए हैं उसको लेके. I'll give you an example. So, we were having this conversation with one of these large developers from Delhi, and we said, you are using too many sizes. What if we try and standardize? He said, no, we have standardized. I'm just trying to be. So, okay, we've standardized. I'll send a team and let me just do a recheck measurement. We got 165 sizes of same window.
Possible.
In one building, one of the leading builders of Delhi, 165 or some sizes of those same windows. So variations, I'm not talking about variations of 2 or 3 mm, I'm talking about major variations.
Inches.
Not inches.
Not inches, maybe 10 mm,
maybe 10
12
mm, 20 mm.
Yes, he's right.
Stuff like that, which means which will affect.
But drawing तो आप architect नहीं बनाई होगी उसको.
I made standard sizes. Okay. But on the side, that is how it's
is the issue.
During construction, that has
construction is not organized here.
Number one, that is number one. Number two is also an issue in my own office, for example. If I'm doing 5 buildings, residential buildings, and I'm everywhere in 3 foot by 4 foot ki window. Okay. Now, one of my architects will like 1200, other will like 1250, one will like 1275. So within the same office, my sizes keep changing, though notionally they are same sizes. In MM, they'll
But in
keep
terms
changing.
of production and in terms
And
of
they'll-
the
this is
detail, it changes.
completely different. So there are two major aspects that we need to understand. What CPWD says in this case, and this I was part of that committee which did it. They say you make a standard metal frame and use that as a firma,
Template, yes.
as a template. And he says when you're doing plaster, you put that in, get the plaster, check it out, and then take it out. So I know I'm quite sure it's not being followed, but sizes remain a major issue, and that is where you start with.
And just to add to what Deepak ji is saying, and further related problem with this is, hypothetically, to one window code, you have say about 160 sizes. So now the human intelligence is hypothetically, that variance is from 2 mm to 15 mm, hypothetically. So the labor who's installing at site, we are not sure that वो 2 mm के gap वाली window ही जाके वहाँ पे लग रही है कि वो 4 mm वाली. It is 100% mandated that those 160 type of sized windows will get intermingled at site.
Obviously.
They will intermingle at site.
ह्यूमन एरर है ना वो.
अब वो लेबर देखेगी ये विंडो यहाँ फिट हो रही है और 2 mm की जगह वो 4 mm गैप वाली विंडो फिट कर देगी वहाँ पे. एंड में यू विल हैव 20 विंडोज लेफ्ट जहाँ पे पता चलेगा यहाँ तो चिप ऑफ करनी है, यहाँ गैप ही जी 15 mm है, या इसको भरो. अब नाउ व्हाट विल हैपन, आइदर यू विल चिप ऑफ, द क्वालिटी ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन गेट्स डिटोरेटेड देयर. 2, when the gap is 15 millimeters, hypothetically, either you put the plaster, which will have no curing and which is not having that adjoining effect with the structure, or you put sealant. Sealant with 15 millimeters will also have another challenges. So the topic of that sizes remains a taboo kind of.
Okay.
I
but
would just like to add, nobody's actually thought of the plight of the processor, because if we get, say, I tell you, you're talking about site. Now, when we have to make the glass, now, if we get an order for 500 windows, say, of a building or 500 glasses, there'll be 300 different sizes.
Yes.
Okay? And now, most cases, it's a double insulated glass. So what happens, like you said, 2 millimeter difference. Now, we have to do pairing.
You have 600 glasses, to be honest.
And you have to do pairing.
Yes.
Your high performance glass on one side and the clear glass on the other side. Now 2 mm difference, you can't really make out visually. So it is such a big challenge at our end, such a big challenge. It's getting mixed up. That's how it gets
So the
delayed.
problem starts from here and it goes to everybody. Every
lot of
stakeholder,
this-
every
and-
stakeholder gets affected.
And which is why we are so expensive. No, a large part of
Because we are not efficient.
we are not efficient.
I think the buck stops at the measurement has to be done correctly.
So measurement is a secondary part.
Secondary
First,
part.
I have
No,
to do.
secondary.
have to
He's
do
right.
your
I have
part
to
of
do
the
that.
job.
Yes. Measurement is secondary. Primary is that
My
you know,
windows are made
yeah,
size, and
yeah.
especially punched out windows.
So YP, why can't we standardize custom openings?
So before I get into that question, I thought of sharing some points here. Why, first of all, there is a need for it. I think we need to understand the construction industry works on inches. Typically even today also. 4 inches, 3 inches, 5 inches.
Yes, do with
And the windows measurement in the drawings are fits. 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet,
No,
7
but
feet.
mm.
No,
not feet.
We're talking about 20 years back.
Okay.
Even today also you see a lot of architect drawing mentions 4x3, 4x5, 5x6. The civil will always have that sort of a working methodology. There would be gap between windows and buildings. Windows are made on millimeters. I'm not talking about microns, millimeters. And the clearance between,
Maybe microns at some point of time. Sorry.
not microns.
in the future, in the future.
Yeah. But as of now, if we need performances, we need to have the building and the window only made after measurement. Now, second point which I want to emphasize here is why we need this measurement first of all, to get the performance. And how does this performance comes? There has to be a gap. Now, what we have seen in the construction, especially in retail, not in the building, people do not want any gap between the window and the aperture. They want a seamless joinery between the aperture, which could be a marble, which could be
But why
stone.
is that a mindset?
It's aesthetic.
Aesthetic.
It's purely aesthetic between the architect and the consumer.
Gap नहीं होना चाहिए.
Yeah, gap नहीं होना चाहिए, एकदम clean दिखना चाहिए, which is good. Ideally, it should be like that. But what happens is we'll have to understand every material on this earth has an expansion coefficient. Everything expands and contracts like we also do sometimes. If you do not provide that gap between the civil and the fenestration product, the expansion and contraction of these two materials are different, and therefore there will be problem in the performances. Now, if there is too much gap also, you cannot fill it with chuna and cement and everything because it will not work. And if it is too less also, you cannot put any sealant in that.
Correct.
Now, therefore, the performance of the product, you might have done a very good engineering of designing, manufacturing, but if you have not taken care of the right gaps, your window will still not perform. And therefore, it is important that the measurement between the aperture and the window should be there, and there should be a small amount of gap which is defined depending upon what material we are going to use and what size of window we are talking about. It is not the same gap which has to be there in all windows. A smaller window versus a larger window will have different performance issues.
There are a lot of installation materials used globally which are still to be accepted, I will say, in India currently for the fenestration products. And by and large, from my experience, what I've seen is in some parts of the world where the climate is very, very extreme, is currently Indian construction industry is more wet construction. And mostly what I've seen in the developed part of the world, it is more dry construction. So due to being dry, so the fenestration products do not get damaged or do not get, the challenges of the problem.
Wet versus dry ka thoda maybe extrapolate a little bit.
Means I am not a subject matter expert.
Wet, the wet is like what we do with cement. You put in water. So there is and you plaster.
And then there is a
so on.
chemicals that are there in the developed part of the world which they do. So like for tiles and stones now there are chemicals which have been introduced in India.
Which have become quite popular. So
Very well.
when we do dry construction, which I see as the future, and many of us are already now doing buildings with dry construction, wherein you have either cement boards or other kinds of boards available.
To a precast products is ready to
Precast is again wet construction.
This is a wet
precast.
Okay.
Yes.
But PEB or some of those other aspects are still, when you're doing lightweight walls, then it's a dry construction.
So just to take that matter subject forward for
And in dry construction, getting a correct sizing is very easy.
yes, that's the
Because
point.
you're cutting it to the.
Because all is engineered,
It's all engineered and it's all.
factory made.
नहीं, उसमें ना एक पॉइंट मैंने दीपक जी ये देखा है, जस्ट टू ऐड व्हाट ही सेइंग इन दी ड्राई कंस्ट्रक्शन, तो अगर विंडो साइज में हाइपोथेटिकली 1 इंच का भी गैप है, जो अभी हम इंच की भी बात कर रहे थे, से अबाउट 25 millimeters, और स्टैंडर्ड साइज कर दिया, सो देयर आर इंस्टॉलेशन मटेरियल्स अवेलेबल इन द वर्ल्ड which get matched with the performance of the windows, and you can put them all across the windows or doors and then complete the wall outside and inside, and still you get the same aesthetic view and still you get the same performance out of those fenestration products. So the type of construction and the thought process both have to be adapted to have the right performance windows. In terms of what Deepak ji was saying, which I endorse, is to have standardized doors and windows across the country.
He's endorsing me now.
Gurmeet, you've been doing glass for 4 decades, I would say. Has things changed?
Marginally. Like what Deepak said, it's we are still at the Fiat and Maruti situation because like on the sizes, it's still the same. You get 500 glasses and there are 300 sizes.
Hale bhi hoja chal raha hai.
Yeah.
Can we draw a consensus to say that everything should move in millimeters?
No, although it is in millimeters.
There's a
No,
lot.
it
Like
is.
you were saying
no.
interior
No,
people
it's all millimeters. We will not accept an order if it is not in millimeters.
The paper is in millimeter,
Also-
the site is not in millimeter.
मैं वही देख रहा हूँ. I'm saying
Sorry,
can
sorry.
we-
No. All our site now almost site.
Civil defensive. No,
Civil construction.
Activity को वो कर रहे हैं, present कर रहे हैं, भाई वो कैसे मान ले किसी बात को?
Civil constructions are all in MM now.
Deepak, sorry.
No, for
Your-
glasses.
I can show you drawing today in my system.
There.
I will put it out there in our system to show specs.
I have drawings still in inches and fits, my dear. Today, we have got to
See,
quote
because
on that.
standardization is lacking, na?
Yeah, to
We
make
got
that
kid in
more
the-
बड़ा simple solution है. Just-
बिल्डर की जॉब्स है,
दीपक सर,
मतलब बड़े
किसकी जॉब?
आर्किटेक्ट की ड्राइंग्स है, आर्किटेक्ट ने भेजा है मुझे।
घर कई बार बन जाते हैं अभी भी, क्योंकि पुराने लोग काम कर रहे हैं, बट नॉट अदर।
बट पुराने लोग ही तो एक्सपीरियंस हो गया है, उल्टी बात नहीं कर रहे हैं कि पुराने लोग
फिएट खत्म होने वाला है।
सर जी
फिएट इज गोइंग आउट ऑफ बिजनेस वाला जाम।
सर जी, consensus to draw, can everyone move to millimeters?
Absolutely.
Possible. Possible.
Possible.
Like you said, intent. So I'm just saying, can everybody, architects, builders, developers, manufacturers, window makers, everybody move to MM? please?
And add to that tolerance.
Tolerance?
Tolerance on, if you give me a size of let's say 1200 by 1500, what is the tolerance you expect the building would be ready with? You give that and the window is sorted.
What is an expected tolerance? Varies from application to application.
5 millimeters?
5 millimeters.
But 5 meters, 5 just roll on.
5 millimeters width and height.
चलो एक काम करते हैं पहले नहीं मनीष एक काम करते हैं पहले लेट्स गेट टू अ कंसेंसस दैट
टोटल 10 mm की टॉलरेंस पे समझ रहे हो
2.5 millimeter per
पहले
second.
होगा अगर 5 पहले है और 5 की टॉलरेंस ले ली 10 millimeters की सीलेंट ऑन ईच साइड जस्ट
पहले वहां तो आ जाओ.
ग्रेट फॉर माय बिजनेस बट लॉजिकली नॉट
Right.
गुड
नॉट गुड
वहां तो आने दो. अभी तो
देयर इज नो
अच्छा दीप वाईपी can we sir ji can we fold our hands and request everybody please if you don't mind Deepak, you included, that please everybody move the Gurmeet for help you to you won't make 500.
Yeah.
Please move to millimeters, measurement in millimeters. Thank you very much. Because the consequences of not measuring right is leakages, air gaps, poor insulation, poor performance. all of
And
that.
high
problem starts from there. The problem starts from there.
Well, I think consensus one drawn, which is a good takeaway for everybody who's listening. Millimeters, and I think it's so easy. नहीं? कोई ऐसा
There's a
software
law.
नहीं है.
India has a law. Can only use MM.
India has a law, but
Law.
implementation of that law is important.
Yeah. And it's a question of time.
And let's not give exception के retail में ऐसा है, उसमें ऐसा है. For your knowledge,
Right. Even on invoicing, you have to do in millimeters.
so we have this. So the conclusion of episode 1 is please move to millimeters. Measurement is critical. Make sure that each stakeholder gives importance to measurement to make sure that the final product delivered, in this case a window, a door, performs is based on the sizes. I want to take up as an example in
Also, just
sorry.
the accountability for the size lies with the client. That's a must. अभी क्या है हमारे माइंड में ही आएगा यार थोड़ा और 50 साइज कर लेगा. If I want definitely accountability lies with me. Not
So you guys should say no. बहुत अलग अलग साइज है, मैं नहीं काम करता. वो भी
That's
नहीं
not
हो
the
पाता, वो भी नहीं हो
accountability lies
पाता.
with us. आप तो खरीदोगे ना बट मुझसे पैसा ज्यादा लग जाएगा, टाइम ज्यादा लग जाएगा.
तो अभी तो हमारे को चैलेंज नहीं है ना अगर हम कहते हैं स्टैंडर्ड साइज करेंगे कहेगा कि ये कंपनी अच्छी नहीं है तू रहने दे
तुम capable नहीं हो, flexible नहीं हो.
तो हाँ यू आर नॉट फ्लेक्सिबल बहुत रिजिड
So I'm paying more, yeah.
आप करो आके ना इसको प्राइस को
Anyway, let's move forward. I think now.
But it's important to give it importance. All the software, all the tools, everything can do everything. But if it's not measured correctly or not put correctly, the performance will hamper, and that's what we're talking about.
So just when you talk about, just last point I have to add, when
Please,
we talk about measurement, it's important for an aperture to measure on the entire widths and heights with the diagonals.
With the diagonals.
With the diagonals.
What has happened in many times, there is, the squareness is not there. So actually it looks very ugly when the window is installed. You will see high silicon somewhere, less silicon somewhere, and it's tapered. So that's very important when we talk about measurement in the real scenario.
Developers are the same. The big guys have gone bigger. They understand but still undermine the value of this aspect of measurement. Like you said, the client responsibility. The client should feel responsible. Sometimes I feel the client, because he's paying the money, he feels that everybody else is responsible because he's paying the money. I know, unfair to say though, but that may be true.
The other,
Pass the buck.
Yeah, pass the buck.
But there's no passing. The end of the day, who pays for it?
The client.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but then everybody
no,
got
the
cornered.
customer suffers, client doesn't pay.
Right.
Exactly.
Customer
I think, yeah, the person who's doing the job, his bottom line suffers.
We concluded as industry representatives to make sure that we can move every size drawing, respected architect sir and the fraternity, into millimeters without exception.